Aye.
Aye.
Okay, minutes of the September 5th and 25th meetings look very good. Any questions? None? Thank you very much. Moving right along. Okay, if you have any errors or corrections, just file them with the secretary. Thank you.
She won't listen to you.
Yeah, nothing to do there. Treasurer and our location heard us, and we had no signage. We now have
Yeah.
Within the UN.
Oh, yeah.
So I've not had
Come on up here, Peggy.
Come on up.
Hey, you guys.
Eddie,
Hi, guys.
I've not had the,
Move over.
Well, I just want to say something about this Sunday's tabling. I'll form an email, I'll send it to Stuart, he can put the 411 on our calendar, and I'll also send the email out to our master list.
Second Street.
Ethel.
Yeah, just across street.
Yeah, I think it's Sweet Chills or something.
There you go.
But
oh, she moved down the road, yeah.
It's
on the corner of
Chase Bank.
It's on the corner of
for our party and for our club. So, I'm hoping that by having a banner, buttons on the table, that we will ask people if they want to have one, give us a $1 donation, okay?
Expansions. I'm going into create this, okay? And it's really important we can find folks who will help quick things ahead of the report. But this button, I was wearing this the night before last at the county committee.
When did we first make that, remember?
We made it, oh yeah.
Back in 2010, I made this deal.
Maria did.
Maria, and I wore this for action fundraiser for John Carson. John Carson, we need.
That's why I use the word navigate on the banner. Ask us for information about how to enroll or how to navigate the online marketplace. And we have our laptop that the club agreed to purchase to show people, look, you can get on, this is how you get on. So people aren't intimidated by anything.
As a formerly licensed agent, it's important we all understand the distinction.
Informed Long Beach, and what happened was one person was given a certain.
We broke it down
It was
into the parts that
wonderful,
like
yeah.
all the small business owners.
As a matter of fact,
and
what
each
you're
person.
talking about is covered in what you talked about on, I don't know if you guys read Cindy's email. She forwarded a copy of this agreement, this MOU
The MOU that we're going to sign.
agreement, and
I'll give you an example of the problem. I got a call at about 8:45 this morning. You're on Medicare, right? Yes, I'm on Medicare. You're not qualified to be, qualified for Obamacare. Oh, well, he got very argumentative. They're all moving targets. That was how the
That's why we should have a meeting with people.
Yes.
This was my suggestion before we even had the first Fridays, is that we needed to have a meeting to talk about what are the key talking points. And
Yeah,
we
especially
shouldn't
the
get it over our
tables.
heads.
No.
Basically, it's call the Wave Head Group number. Here's what happened to me.
That's-
I was able to save 50%. My deductible is now at 0 deductible.
That's the
I used to have
response.
that's the agreement that we have with Covered California.
And we have handouts with the phone number too.
Their website, you've probably looked, how many you can order per person. So we're gonna put in an order, and we're gonna see how that goes.
Yeah,
And
no, it's
I would like people,
Maria design, isn't that beautiful? Look at
Yeah, like that.
Yeah,
and it's free.
well, I mean, we could have really used that Sunday.
Sunday,
I'm glad we have it now, okay? Because, people don't understand that, oh, yes, we can. There's a little sign.
Oh, I'm like, let me look at my calendar.
Well, that's why.
Friday evening for First Friday, make it a week before First Friday.
Someone has to go out on Friday.
They're doing it on.
Friday.
Saturdays and Sundays as well.
Well, who had a meeting?
Oh, well,
No, seriously, what we want to do, what we didn't, with that going on, oh, it's you, I'm sorry. I didn't see you. Okay. I have an augmentation fee report from the OFA.
The Long Beach Dam Club is having a presentation on healthcare, and the OFA, I don't know who.
I'm sorry, speak up, please.
Tonight, coincidentally, the Long Beach Dam Club, it's at the Beverly Connection, Los Angeles, La Cienega Boulevard.
What day?
This Sunday, the 13th, 3:30 to
I think
5.
that would be really good if someone.
Yeah, I'm
Good
gonna be
to
out
know.
of town. so-
Is that email being forwarded to us?
This is on the events, OFA events.
Yep.
Mostly Saturday. There's a climate camp OFA in Los Angeles that is your organizing group
Really?
with a boat law,
It's a camp, do we have,
the next level. OFA is partnering with the new organizations for a 3-month paid internship with full benefits. Ours on that, including Lee's presentation in various places. And for someone like me who missed it, it was 2 hours, and I could stop and can go back and see things. There's also a great slideshow on the regular site that, so I just wanted to.
Covered California. I
Right.
mean, as a club,
Oh, we are.
this gives us something, I mean,
I love healthcare.
And one last thing is the website for Covered California, you're probably familiar with that a little bit. But that they've, I heard reference to and checked it out, the business site really is something worth exploring for groups like this in my mind. And if, again, this can all go in, but it's hbex.ca.gov. I think they mentioned that.
I missed that.
So you're gonna email that sheet
But I'll
to
give
us.
it, yeah, right.
Okay, good.
Carson,
Ron Carson.
Ron Carson was the LGBT outreach community person at the White House, is now the executive director of OFA. Because his flight was delayed and I had the county meeting to go to. But I was able to see our good friend, Stacy Cohen, and even better friend, MJ, Mary Jane Stevenson, and I don't know.
And the mayor.
Some of you, he was late too, about a group right there in the mid-central area. I'll get the name later for you later. They're doing that now. They're tabling. They're talking about Covered California. So this is something that's actually happening, and we're part of it. It was very cool. Issues very quickly. We need a red to blue report.
Yeah.
Chris, you have it?
Good evening, everybody. Thanks for coming.
Let me finish.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, what's yours?
Sorry.
Well, they're scrambling for chairs.
I'm sorry, Carl.
It looks really good.
Mr. Raleigh,
Oh, beautiful.
Carol.
Oh, nicely done.
Let's
Yeah, it's possible.
see.
Oh, cheers, that's what we're doing.
Sorry.
Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers. Excuse me, sorry.
2012, we won 5 seats that were Republican and changed them to Democrat, and we were involved in a couple of those as well as expanding over the country. What we did was we endorsed a candidate out in San Bernardino County, who's the mayor of Redlands, named Pete Aguilar, who is in it's a Republican district with an 8%
Parking.
We had valet parking.
Hey, first for Long Beach, as far as I know.
Valet parking, food, and good Democrats. And the event was a success because when we get the summation of the total value of the event, it comes out to $2,800. So that means that night we raised in cash $1,564.12 for Pete Aguilar. The mayor of Redlands, everybody. This is way out there. This is what Yes We Can does. This is what Yes We Can did. This is what we're going to continue to do.
And the in-kind goes toward the total too.
It goes towards that $2,800 filed right now. Oh, and that's where I went. Oh, I'm sorry.
That was a pretty good feeling to hear that. And also, we're taking this information and it's on the web now. We're encouraging other Democratic clubs in other places to do the same thing we're doing. Support somebody in a race that you think can go from red to blue.
That's where I'm going to elaborate. I'm going to get into that.
Let me add one more thing to that because it's really important what Sergio said. Sergio recognized this club.
That's what I'm talking about.
Despite, he said, a number of us wondered why there's this new club. Why are there six clubs?
Graphic artist over here. I want to do R2B. I want to start making R2B buttons and make that this national campaign that she's referring to. Because back in 2012, what we did was within the committee is everybody had adopted a candidate. And we did this time. Not a lot of candidates responded. But we're going to continue that and make buttons for these candidates. So the giant has been awoken in the Red Blue Committee. Yes, we can.
And go to Canvas in their neighborhood and show them how to do tabling events in their neighborhood to encourage them. It's about motivation and encouragement.
This was step one. Step one was to raise money. Chris and I were up at Pete's fundraiser in Rancho Cucamonga, and is that really his name?
That was advising us the whole way. You will like this.
Okay, go ahead, I'm sorry.
Carol's going to speak. I'm going to speak.
Okay.
You get like 3 minutes to say your spiel. We're going to try to coordinate our spiel so that it ties all together. Talk to the very friendly council and say, you guys are good for doing this. I mean, who doesn't want to do this at this time?
Yeah, I mean, Gary DeLong is for it. Yeah.
Oh, really?
I'm
You wanna be-
shocked. Yeah.
You know, we want to do this, Los Angeles did it, we want to join the 50 other California cities that have passed this resolution. It's symbolic, yes, but it's meaningful,
That's
so
important.
we can get
Very
this.
important.
Yeah.
Bravo.
Yeah. Go
A little sidebar to your membership report, we sent out a donor $500 to any campaign of importance, and that's just federal or above. In the last 2 cycles, we received back toward the event.
Good.
Okay, thank you. And the list will go to membership for
Wonderful, thank you.
content.
Okay,
Okay,
Mayor,
No, Peggy.
Okay, yeah, luckily my committee has all agreed to meet for the first meeting on October 16th here, so this is here, so it's gonna be interesting.
That's editorial. Okay, very good.
So, thank you.
Thank you for the report. All right. We really are a little behind schedule. We're going to hold off the break. We'll have it afterwards. We'll have the opportunity to try it afterwards. We'd like now to introduce our special guest, who is Long Beach Council member Jerry Shipsky. The camera's there.
And that's what my name tag says too,
Yeah,
so.
that's
Did I
good.
spell it right?
Yeah, I have to tell you, we have 44 alleys in my district, and I've actually been using a crew who's out. Yeah. I want to thank you again, and I really was very pleased that some of you came to my office to talk to me about a number of things that you all are working on. I will tell you, I understand the importance of Democrat does. It's important, even though Long Beach, by registration, is blue. Is blue. Say they're blue or vote blue. And so that is a challenge, I think, for all of us as we try to get people elected into office, is to make certain that we reach. I was born at the Naval Hospital, which is now the Veterans Hospital down the street on 7th. My parents at the end of World War II were babies, but they met at the Pike. My dad, I remember
The Pike.
my dad was a Marine and he was stationed on the USS Topeka, and they were anchored off of Long Beach, and he came over and met my mom and her family. He was from New Jersey, and my mom's family was from Pennsylvania, and they came out here in search of a job, because even though we had the war and it was employing people, the economy was not very good in many parts of the country. The GI Bill, which we need back to get people employed, get them to college, but most importantly to be able to buy a house. And so they were able to buy a brand new house in a little city called Lakewood that had this new thing called a shopping center.
What do you have?
Understanding of how Republicans operate. But I came back. Long Beach was going through tremendous corruption. A couple of things were happening. The LA Times manager who was being blackmailed, he was gay. Not a lot of people know that, but our police department was constantly picking him out of gay bars, and they held that over him. So they basically, our police department ran roughshod over a lot of things in the city of Long Beach, particularly the motorcycle cops. It gets better. The planning director wound up going to prison because he was trading planning decisions for gold coins and other things. And that is why we got CDIP. CDIP came out, the planning director was Marina Pacifica, subsidize it, even though they don't do what they're supposed to. So the city manager of Long Beach was recruiting. And the people who are getting appointed to committee, commissions, and boards in the city of Long Beach all seem to live in one neighborhood, and boards. And I was on the Queensway Bay Committee for 6 years. I was the vice chair, and we shepherded in the aquarium. It didn't quite turn out the way it was promised to turn out, by the way, folks, but the city was in such a hurry to get that aquarium built because USC had announced it was going to build an aquarium, and they wanted to beat them. I will tell you that when it first opened, my heart sank because it was not what we said it was going to be, but I have to tell you the years has gotten tremendously better, and most because of Jerry Schubel, who's taken over. He didn't have a lot of paperwork. I always, thought, geez, how does he do this? He only had on paper once, and then it got taken care of. And the only thing he had hanging in the office was the Athenian credo, which says about city-states that we shall leave them better than we found them at that time. And one of the things I did as president is I shepherded in district elections because we had everybody on the community college district. In that capacity, I worked with Long Beach Unified School District, 32 votes.
Who remembers that number?
But the point is that Long Beach was steadily growing more Democrat. And that, we have mostly single-family homes, we have very few apartments, very few condos, so it is spread out.
Or driveways.
Yeah, and it goes from, I know, I'm trying to see the, I know that my daughter lives over here, and, I see the parking problem, and I'm thinking, but what that means is we have a lot of infrastructure needs. We have the most sidewalks, the most streets, and the most trees, so we have the most infrastructure needs. So I was elected in 2006. I ran against about 6 people, and also the incumbent who had been turned down and wanted to do a write-in. So as you met the mayor's race, you have to win the 5th council district. I get 100 to 125 emails. By census figures is about 22% of the population are at, especially that goes on the development deals that have gone down in this city that we're not open and transparent. And this nonsense that we get this any adjustments in anything they built, and then if they do, there has to be a cost sharing between the Army Corps of Engineers, the City of Long Beach, who at that time was trying to figure out if it wanted its own harbor, and they lobbied in Washington D.C. So it was extended in the early 1900s and then 1920s, and then they asked for additional money in the 1930s to extend it all the way to where it actually is now. And I will tell you what I learned when I looked at the congressional study on it is that we came this close to losing the Port of Long Beach because Congress was getting this close to merging the 2 ports. They said, why put in the flood control system? That's why we have flood control channels, mostly on the east side because that's all water property. And our airport used to flood tremendously. And I can tell you anywhere they find gas in oil, they find water. So anywhere, those are all water department. And what is so appalling, folks, is that I would say that most of you in this room voted for it, are just doing all kinds of wonderful things. Years ago, when I was on the
Pressure's still working. Okay, old business. Covered California.